Hi, I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're staying safe at home. Today I want to talk about one little thing. It's easy to do, but it's difficult if we don't practice it. This one little thing can change your health, it can change your life, your relationships, the way you want to personally evolve, your career, and all of these things. The thing I'm talking about is your expectations in life. You've noticed today the way the world is moving, most of us only expect the worst in all situations. We expect the worst when it comes to disease. We expect the worst when it comes to our jobs, when it comes to our relationships. We enter relationships with fear. We live in fear in our relationships. When it comes to our own personal development, we're always expecting the worst in life. Will I ever find my life purpose? Will I ever be successful? Will I ever be wealthy? Will I ever be rich? Will I ever attain that perfect weight, that perfect body? One of the biggest problems is having a mindset that always expects the worst. Some of us call these people pessimists and all of that stuff, but we're not here to label anyone. We're here to talk about how your mind drives where we put our attention on. So what I mean by that is, number one, the question you have to ask yourself is, what do you get out of expecting the worst? Absolutely nothing. So then why do we focus over there? But what can we get when we expect the best from life? A lot more, and we're going to break that down and understand how to do this little thing. So when you expect the worst, what you get is fear, anxiety, sadness, all the negative emotions. Okay? You're expecting the worst from something that has not yet happened and that may not ever happen in your life. Okay? Most of us like to expect the worst because we're afraid of disappointment. We don't want to go through that disappointment of, what if I expected the best but it didn't happen? I'll be afraid of disappointment. So most of us are already afraid of suffering that may never happen to us. Most of us are already afraid of disappointment that may never happen to us. At the same time, life always doesn't have to meet up to our expectations and it doesn't have to give us what we want. So even when that happens, maybe you've expected the best, but you've still been disappointed by life. Still, you have to have a mind frame of still expecting the best out of that outcome. So you didn't get what you want, but now what's the best that can still happen? We have to train our mind to always expect the best. This doesn't mean we get lazy, of course. Just because we expect the best out of our health doesn't mean we get sedentary, we eat junk food. We still have to do the fundamentals and the basics. If you're running a business, yes, you have to build contingency plans. You have to know that if something goes wrong, I can fall back on this. I need to diversify my business. So if one isn't working, there's income coming from somewhere else. So it doesn't mean that you don't plan. Planning and expecting the worst and living in that emotion of expecting the worst is what is dangerous for you. So what we need to understand is when we're constantly expecting the worst, we're constantly thinking about that. Our thoughts become our reality. So every time we're building the worst picture in our mind of what can happen. So you have a patient who has cancer. They're already imagining the worst. They're already visualizing the worst. Okay, but it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, there's uncertainty. We may lose jobs. Business may not do well. So we have contingency plans, but now stop at that. If we're constantly building illusions and stories, we're literally visualizing the worst. And we get what we visualize. We get what we imagine the most. It's called manifestation. It's as simple as that. So how do we learn to cultivate a habit of expecting the best? When we learn to expect the best, it puts us in a very, very positive frame of mind, direction of thought. So when I expect the worst, the best, for example, there's uncertainty, business is down right now, we're not doing too well, example, okay? But I'm still going to expect the best that, hey, the business is going to pick up. People are more serious about their health right now. And I'm just going to imagine and expect the best out of the situation. I get a lot from that. I get positivity, I get creativity, I get new ideas. I open up doors for opportunity to come in, which are usually shut when you're in a negative mind frame. So, like I said, you get nothing, absolutely nothing out of expecting the worst. So that is enough motivation for you to look at life through a different lens and start learning to expect the best. Expect the best outcome. Someone's sick, yes, but that person can get better. We can do the right things for that person to get better. My career isn't good right now. Yes, it's not the end of the world. I may just get another career. Maybe at this point in my life, it's a wake-up call for me to get out of a job that I never enjoyed. And this is that wake-up call. It's that kick. Maybe I lose that job, which I never really liked. But now it's opened up an opportunity for me to get something because I expect the best in life. How do we expect the best in life? There are many things that we can do. Number one, we have to start living in the present moment. If I'm constantly living in the past or I'm constantly living in the future, okay, there's no way I can ever expect the best in life, because the past is pulling me down or the future is uncertain and it's scaring me. So I cannot get myself into a mind frame of expecting the best. Two, gratitude. Why is gratitude so important? Because every time something's not going well in our life, but I'm focused on the things that are going well in my life, the things I'm grateful for, it gives me that energy that, hey, beautiful things can happen still. But if I'm not grateful and I'm ungrateful, it's so easy for us to spiral into negativity and only expect the worst. But when I remind myself every day, these are my blessings that I have, these are the things that I'm grateful for, it gives me hope that I can still expect the worst, because I got something right now in my life that's come to me that I'm grateful for. It can happen in the future as well. So it gives us hope, and it helps us to focus in that positive mind frame that I told you about, that puts you in that direction. So when I'm constantly expecting the best, I'm imagining it. I'm visualizing it, which means if I visualize the right way, I'm also manifesting it. So manifestation isn't a lie. It's not an airy-fairy thing. It's what you think about the most that you have. You constantly think you're sick, you begin to feel sick. You constantly tell lies, you begin to think your lie is the truth. It's as simple as that. You constantly think happy thoughts, you're happy. You constantly think sad thoughts, you're sad. So there's no airy-fairy magic involved in this. It is how it works. It is how positivity works with visualization and manifestation. The next thing, exercise. So important, because when you're lethargic, you're sitting at home putting on weight all the time, you're lethargic, your mind responds the same way. You always expect, you become pessimistic because you're lethargic. How many of you work out and feel like $1 billion? How many of you wake up from that sedentary mood, you go for a run and you come back feeling energetic and you take on the day? That's because exercise enables us and our minds to produce hormones that move us into creativity and into action. But how many of you have been stuck in that sedentary phase where you don't feel like working out, so you say, forget it, I'm not going to work out. And your day just gets worse. You start junking, you start consuming more content, lying around doing nothing. You see, it's like a drug that pulls us in each direction. So it is so important for us to understand exercise is important for our minds, our creativity, for us to be able to expect the best from life. Eat well as well, because everything you eat has an impact on your mood. Eat to be healthy and also happy. Don't just eat to lose weight and feel sad and depressed all the time. Eat to be healthy and to be happy. Is it possible? 100%. There are millions of people in the world who eat and are healthy and are happy at the same time. What you eat is very important. If you find yourself depriving yourself of too many things, then you already feel psychologically deprived and you are already in a negative mindset. When you're in a negative frame of mind, you can never expect the best from life. And have goals. It's as simple as that. Have small little goals. Each time you achieve a small goal, celebrate it. If you've never worked out today, just start with 10 minutes and celebrate that. Tomorrow maybe 15 minutes. You don't have to make extreme goals and large goals. Whatever it is in life that you're trying to achieve, start off small. One little small step at a time. Remember, the sum of parts makes the whole. The sum of small parts makes the whole. So it's okay to break down your goals into small little things. So coming back to the whole thing again, wherever you are in life right now, revisit your thinking. Okay, what are the things that are worrying you, and how can you imagine the best outcome? Being realistic. How it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, you don't know, I don't know. We're not supposed to know. We are just supposed to expect the best in life from everything. Right now, you may not even have a lot of money. Okay, still expect the best of life, because what is the point of expecting the worst? Is it adding to anything? Is the worst helping you with an action plan? Is it helping you to feel better? Most of us can only get into action to do something when we feel good. But if we're not feeling good, we can't even action that. We have great ideas, but we're too lethargic to make those ideas into reality. So that simple mind shift, I call it a mind shift. That simple mind shift of learning to expect the best in life. So right now you're hit with bad news. Okay, the lockdown's going to extend. Okay, you may not have a job, all of that stuff. Yes, go through the emotion. But now, still expect the best of life. What is the best that can happen? What is the worst that can happen? Make your contingency plan. I may need to, liquidate some money, sell some stocks or whatever it is. There's always an action plan that you can do. But if you stay stuck on that negative emotion, okay, your whole life and everything around it is going to be negative. So start learning to train your mind to expect the best. Ever looked at a child? They only expect the best. They can get punished. they'll forget the punishment within 2 minutes because they're always expecting things to get better for them. That's something that we can learn from children. They have innocence. They don't have layers like adults that we assume as we start growing up. So when you look at their innocence, they're always imagining. They're always expecting the best of life until they cross that age of 9 and 10, and then they can reason, and then the company they keep and society, they learn to have all these mental blocks and stuff like that, which we all have as adults. But learn from children. Imagination is the magic. Imagination is infinite. You can take a problem and imagine it to be the best. And that's exactly what's going to happen if you put your focus over there. And like I said, let me remind you once again, life doesn't always have to give you what you expected. So even if there's a disappointment, in that case, still expect the best outcome. I had a call 3 days ago with a cancer patient of mine. She's about 72 years old, and her PET scan is due next week. And she was like visualizing, doing everything and all of that stuff. And I was like, just expect the best. And she's saying, but what if it comes back as a cancer? Then I said, when it happens at that point, we'll still expect the best for the next PET scan, and we'll continue doing what we have to do. Because even if it comes bad, what is there that we can do? What's there by expecting the best? The only thing that can keep us moving forward is action. So don't be afraid of disappointment. Disappointment is real. It's okay. Life will never give us what we need. We have to learn to be okay with that. Then we're not afraid. There's no fear. We have courage to face disappointment. When you have courage to face disappointment, that's when every aspect of your life changes. People's opinions, they don't matter to you. They don't shape you. They don't control you. What people say, what people do. You are your own person with a clear vision, and you move forward because you're okay with disappointment. You're absolutely okay with it. It's real. It happens to everyone. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.